let's look at dexterity exercise number 1, your first exercise. So this exercise is going to allow us to really focus on all those bits that we talked about in regards to playing on our fingertips, playing close to the fret, putting that little black mark on your fingertip, not on the pad of your finger, but on the fingertip. Not playing over the fret, making sure that we're playing with the right amount of pressure, and of course leaving some room in between the palm of our hand and the neck of the guitar. So we want to remember all of this, okay? Now, the reason we're doing this exercise is this particular exercise, which actually has 23 variations, so we have many exercises to look at here, but just focusing on this one, what it's going to do is it's going to be a great workout for strengthening and for muscle memory. Now, remember that when you're doing this, if you're playing the first finger here, you want your thumb close to being on the back of the neck right next to the first finger. When we play the second finger, that thumb will move over a little bit, and the third finger and the fourth finger. Now, it's not going to do it perfectly uniformly. You don't really need to be thinking that way, but just understand that if you need more leverage, it wouldn't make sense if you were playing your pinky for your thumb to be way over here, unless that works for you. If it works for you, then do it. I'm a big fan of not having rules for rules' sake. So with all this, I'm trying to guide you without giving you too many rules. So according to the tab, it's saying 1, 2, 3, 4. That means frets 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this case here, we're going to use fingers 1, 2, 3, 4 respectively. Again, if we were further up the fretboard, we would still use those same fingers, but they're not going to match up with the frets. In this case here, when we're reading the tablature, we're talking about the actual frets. And of course, as we learned earlier, it's going to be on the line that represents the string. And in this case here, the very first string, also known as the high E string. So you're going to put your first finger on that first fret there, just right behind the fret, playing on the fingertip. These are all things that at first you're going to have to remind yourself. And then after some time, you're going to be developing a great habit. You won't ever have to think about that again. So take your time with this. Don't worry that we have to think so much right now, because you're going to be developing a great habit and it'll just go into muscle memory after a short amount of time. So putting your first finger behind the first fret there, making sure there's room between the neck and the palm of your finger. You're not pressing too hard, playing on your fingertip and not over the fret. And you're going to pick that note. Now, as far as the pick, doesn't matter. Right now, I want all of your focus to go over to the left hand. So whether you're doing alternate picking, doing a pick rest, or just pick it out in the air, doesn't matter right now. Just want you to focus on your fretting hand. And you're bringing your second finger behind the second fret, your third finger behind the third fret. The speed doesn't matter either. What matters is accuracy, because speed is a byproduct of accuracy, not the other way around. You can't be fast and not accurate at the same time. That doesn't count, okay? Accuracy always leads to speed, never the other way around. So slow and steady wins the race on this. You really want to take your time with it, and you want to make sure that you're doing all the bits and pieces that we talked about in that first fretting video and what we talked about here today. If you have that dot on your finger and it's looking up at you like a little eyeball, just remember it's saying you're not playing on your fingertips. You need to. That's going to make things so much easier. These things that I'm telling you are actually going to create less hand fatigue. It's going to give you more stamina. It's going to make your fingers hurt less. There's reasons why I'm showing you all this, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 at your speed. Remember to curl that last knuckle. We don't want to lock that finger like that. It's natural for you at first. Curl that last knuckle, because we can conceptually get all this stuff, and then when we put it into practice, it's going to elude us a little bit. So this is where you're practicing it at the same time. And it's going to be a little bit frustrating for you. That's all right. Welcome to the guitar club. That's how it is. Then you're going to proceed to the other strings, and you're going to take your time with this. you're not going to play it as fast as I'm doing right here. But later on, you could speed up, do alternate picking, all the rest. Not the goal right now. Accuracy is the goal. Now, once you exhaust that and you go through it a few times and you're starting to get the idea, if you want to start creating some complexity, again, not speed, but just complexity, although speed does make things more complex, what you could do is now move it up a fret. Now we're not following the tab anymore. Now you're following more of a pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're just following the finger pattern. And then you can move it up again and keep doing that up until it's comfortable, not comfortable for you anymore. In this case here, that'd probably be the 12th fret for me. Past that, now I'm really cramping my hand, maybe getting my thumb out front. We don't want to do that. So for me, it's up to the 12th fret. Just depends on your guitar. If you have an electric, you probably could go further. The other bit that you want to do is you want to check out the 23 other variations that I have for you on this particular exercise. So it would be like 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, etc. And then you have some that are starting with the 4th finger, some the 3rd, some the 2nd. Have fun with this. Take your time with it. Really what we're trying to do is we're trying to establish all of those great things that we learned. Friends, I promise you that these are the foundational bits that if you practice them and you get them into your DNA, you get them into your cells, nothing's going to be able to stop you, because this is all the stuff that you're going to be using for every single genre, every single chord, every single solo, every single note that you play. So let's establish that firm foundation. Don't skip over this stuff. And remember, slow and steady wins the race. Take your time with it. I'd rather you get this and integrate it than you trying to go fast. That's not the point. Nice and slow. Let's keep going.